Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
Hi guys, Sue here at 1AAuto.com, and we're replacing the rear wheel bearing on our 07 Mazda 6 sedan. If you need this bearing or any other parts for your car, click on the link below and come on over to 1AAuto.com. 21mm socket, and we're going to loosen up the lug nuts. I like to loosen in a star pattern, the same as installation. I like to loosen the lug nuts up with the weight of the vehicle. That stops the tire from turning. But once they're all loosened up, you can raise your vehicle, support it, and remove the tire. Just give it a wiggle off. Sometimes it's stuck on the hub. I will put a lug nut on finger tight and smack it back and forth. That way the tire doesn't bounce off of me. To remove the caliper bracket, I'm just going to remove the whole caliper as one. So I'm going to use just the bracket to the knuckle housing. This is a 14mm socket. There's 2 bolts, one here and one down below. And they give you that window hole right here, so you can go through the rear suspension with an extension to get at it easy. Here we go. Okay, that top one's free. Now I'm going to use that access hole with a 3/8 extension and my 14mm socket. Go right in there. I can put my ratchet on. Break this one free. Okay, now that I got that bolt all the way out, my fingers, I can remove the caliper and bracket as one piece. Just by lifting up. I'm going to set that aside inside the control arm housing right there. Take an impact hammer, Phillips, and we're going to remove the seating bolts for this rotor. If you're lucky enough, sometimes you can get it with a regular screwdriver, but they are meant to be hammered on too, so they are torqued on there. Once that's out, we're going to remove the rotor. Now we're going to remove the bearing cap cover. I have a bearing cap cover removal tool. If you don't have one of these, don't fray. You can use a flathead screwdriver or a flat chisel. You just don't want to puncture the cover because it's made of like tin. You don't want holes in it because they don't want water in there. That's the whole point of it. On the axle hub nut, the bearing nut, it's a hammer down to lock it into that keyway. So when you're going to undo it by hand, a little trick is to try to back that off. Now it's going to go smoother for you. Removing the hub nut, it's a 35mm socket, a 1/2-inch breaker bar. This is a nice bearing to do. Nice, somewhat easy job compared to the front bearings. Now you're just going to grab it and slide the hub out. And that is your rear wheel bearing. Comes with the ABS ring. As you can see, the ABS sensor, speed sensor, is covered. I'm going to clean that up with a parts cleaner before I reassemble my new bearing. Here we have the factory wheel bearing that we removed from our 07 Mazda 6 and the replacement wheel bearing from 1AAuto.com. Beautiful, nice sealed bearings inside. You can flip them over. You've got the ABS rings. You can see the same design of everything. I mean, it's a good product. Can't wait to install it. So if you need this part or any other part for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1AAuto.com. To reinstall the Preston bearing hub, you just place it on the spindle. Make sure there's no debris there. I already cleaned it. And you just got to wiggle it around because you're trying to seat that bearing on the spindle. Bottom it out. And we're going to reinstall the lock nut. This is a 35mm socket once again, and the torque on this is going to be 173 foot-pounds. And now we can take our punch and hammer and put the tab down on the lock. Replace the dust cap. I just seat it on by hand, give it a little tap, spin it around. And you can use a brass punch to get really smack it down. The reason for this dust cap, it is important because you don't want any water to get in there in that seated bearing. It'll cause premature wear. Reinstall our rotor. Line up the nice mounting holes that this manufacturer supplies. This car came to us with only one mounting screw, and that's fine. It's better than none. So we'll install this with our impact driver. I'm just going to tighten it by hand. Once it gets bottomed out, to use it, you can feel a click in it and hold it firmly, and when I hit it, it twists it. Locks it into place. Now we're going to remount our caliper. Just slide the pads in between the rotor. And then you just get the mounting bolts. Just wiggle it back and forth. You start it with your fingers. And I'm going to install the bottom one. This one you're probably going to need a socket. Just use the nice access hole that they give you. Put your 14mm socket on there and start that by hand. Now we can use our ratchet and snug these down. We'll get the torque specs and we'll torque them to the manufacturer's specifications. Caliper bracket bolts, mounting bolts are 49 foot-pounds. I'm just going to torque that up. And move on to the bottom one. Once you get your torque wrench in there, there we go, 49 foot-pounds. Now I'm going to mount the tire back on. I'm just going to hand tighten all the lug nuts. Lowered my vehicle just enough to put pressure on the tire. We've got a 21mm socket. And the wheel torque on this is 87 foot-pounds. I'm going to preset my torque wrench. And I'm going to tighten them in a star pattern. I'm going to do it twice, just to confirm it's all seated.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.